my cooking show. I'm Yelena, and today I would like to introduce you to Ayurveda, how to incorporate their knowledge and science of Ayurveda into our daily cooking. So what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda is the study of the natural law. The word Ayurveda, translated from Sanskrit, means science of life. Ayurveda is an ancient system of preventative health care, rejuvenation and longevity. Ayurveda is a way of life, creates harmony by teaching us to honor our individual nature, while we consciously follow rhythms and cycles of the natural world. Ayurveda is based on elemental principles that pertain to life on earth. Ayurvedic philosophy establishes the 5 great elements of ether, air, fire, water, and earth as building blocks of natural world. These 5 elements pair up in 3 combinations to form the primary forces of nature called doshas. There are 3 main doshas: Pitta, Vata, and Kapha. According to Ayurveda, we were born with unique combination of doshas that result in our prakriti, or constitutional nature. Our prakriti is fixed through our lifetime, but can go out of balance as it influenced by the time of the day, the season, environmental condition, a place in the cycle of life, and of course diet. Our current doshic state is called Vakriti. Vakriti may be in balance with our Prakriti, which is our original nature, or can go out of balance from our original nature. Then in the state of doshic harmony, we experience true health and happiness. According to Ayurveda, disease is a state of doshic imbalance. Ayurveda gives us necessary guidance to live in harmony with our true nature, as we experience all of the doshic influences we encounter in life. Ayurveda gifts us with the knowledge of using food, herbs, oils, gems, metals, colors, hatha yoga, and meditation to maintain doshic balance. Cooking and mindful eating are primary ways that Ayurveda helps to regain and maintain doshic balance. Eating Ayurvedically makes you feel nourished and energized. An Ayurvedic diet is tailored to your individual body type and the specific imbalances you are working with. Since Ayurveda believes all diseases begin in digestive tract, food is our first medicine. So how do we introduce Ayurvedic knowledge of food into our everyday lives but still be able to enjoy our favorite meals? Today, I will teach you one of my favorite recipes that I modified to reflect my knowledge of Ayurveda: borscht. I was born in Ukraine. I grew up eating Ukrainian borscht almost on a weekly basis, especially in the winter. This colorful meat and root vegetable-based soup was perfect way to use vegetables that my mom was able to store for the winter. This soup is really supportive to all 3 doshas, but it is mainly wonderful for this particular time of the year. Winter is a kapha time of the year, and it's the time when we detox, hibernate, rejuvenate. This root vegetable soup is a wonderful meal to add to your diet. Let's begin with chopping an onion. I love cooking with onions. I really use them absolutely every single day. They are grounding, they are delicious, they are good, really cooked for every single dosha. They are tridoshic when they are cooked. If your kapha a little bit elevated, especially this time of the year, they will be extremely beneficial to include them in your diet. They could be a little bit elevating for vata and pitta, but there are so many healthful benefits to them. Chop them small.
Okay. Go.
Two carrots. We're gonna peel them. Ooh, those onions were spicy. I feel them in my eyes. We're gonna peel them and chop them small. Look how beautiful and juicy these carrots. Carrots are full of vitamin A. They are extremely good for your eyes, immunity. I'm gonna rinse them. And chop them into small chunks. It's really not very important to have very uniform chunks. In our borscht, all the vegetables come together in a pot. That's why the soup is so extremely beneficial and delicious, because all the ingredients support each other, benefit from each other, and actually elevate benefits that they all provide individually. Together, it all becomes that much more delicious and beneficial to your health. Put them together with our onions. Celery. Celery is delicious. There is really no soup that I make that I do not include this beautiful green vegetable that is really, really wonderful in any meal. We're gonna slice it small, and after we chop all this beauty, we're gonna saute them together in our pot. I chopped my beets into fourths. They need to be rather large pieces, as we will be grating them later. Place them in a pot and cover them with water. Before putting them on a stove, I will teach you a trick that my mom have taught me when I was a little girl. For the beets, not to lose their color and remain bright red, put about a tablespoon, or I usually measure it, just splash in the water with your beets. I use apple cider vinegar, and that will preserve the beautiful red bright color as the beets are cooking. While our beets are cooking, we are going to saute these beautiful chopped vegetables in ghee. What is ghee? Ghee is a very important part of Ayurveda cooking, as ghee promotes vitality and rejuvenation. The ancient texts describe ghee as food that brings quality of love, compassion, and contentment. Ghee is the Hindu word for clarified butter. Ghee is pure golden oil that is a result of gently cooking butter to remove all of the water and milk solids. You can purchase ghee in most stores. I make my own. I will be glad to share this recipe with you some other time. Depending on the size of your pot, you're gonna use either 2 or 3 tablespoons of your beautiful, delicious ghee. I'm going about 3 tablespoons. You really cannot make it worse by adding more of the ghee. Next, we're going to put our vegetables in a little bit warm oil. Let's give it another maybe 20 seconds. Warm up that oil so all the flavors of the ghee can start popping out. And we're going to add our vegetables into it. Mix it up a bit. And let's saute them for about 5-6 minutes, gently stirring them once in a while. Potatoes are going in. The smell of the carrots, celery, and onions is amazing and delicious. We're gonna mix it up a bit just to kind of get all the flavors going. Ready to add my chopped potatoes to the sauteing vegetables and my homemade vegetable broth. I make this every single week. I save all my peels and scraps from all the many vegetables that I cook during the week. And in the end of the week, I have beautiful vegetable broth to make soup. And I'm going to add my vegetable broth. I'd say about 6 cups. Let's add a bit more. And get this soup going. Our beets should be ready. I will turn off the stove and we'll transfer them to a plate so they get a chance to cool down before we start grating them. Look at this beautiful color of these beets, and this water, do not throw it out. That will be going into our soup to add to the flavors. I'm going to chop half of the cabbage. What really makes this soup different from just any vegetable soup is the cabbage and the beets. The cabbage is hearty and delicious. It's full of vitamin B, actually B3, B2, all the vitamin Bs. And it's wonderful for kapha dosha, vata dosha, and for general health. Once they're cooled down, grate them on a medium-sized grater and put them together in a pot with your vegetables. Our soup is boiling. We're gonna add our cabbage and our beets at this point. It seems like a lot of cabbage, about 3 cups, but it does cook down, so don't be afraid to add more. This soup is really like a meal, so it needs to be thick and hearty. We're gonna get this cabbage boiling before we add our beets, together with our beet water. Let's add our beets. And at this point, we can also add our beautiful black beans that will add to the hardiness and healthfulness of this beautiful soup. Beans are really wonderful for all the doshas. It's very grounding, they're very detoxifying and cleansing for your body. We are also going to add our beet water, as it will add to the color and the taste of our soup. One of the most important parts of making borscht is to create that right combination of acid and salt and sweetness. I remember my mom standing on the top of the stove for a long time and saying, it's just something is missing. I need to add more lemon, or I need to add more salt. So it is an intricate part of making this soup, and it's all about adding a little and tasting it. Also, Very important part of making borscht is to be in a calm and happy, loving mood. I usually have a nice music playing in the background and never attempt it if I'm irritated or mad at somebody. So I'm using fresh lemons for our acidity. I will be adding lemon juice. I will be adding it slow to make sure that our borscht is not too sour, so a little bit of the time at the time, and definitely tasting it each time. Very last addition to our borscht are fresh herbs. I love using a lot of herbs in all of my cooking, but especially right now, in the end of the winter and going into the spring, dill and parsley is extremely beneficial and important to use in our cooking. Dill is very cleansing, it's purifying, it's delicious, it makes everything smell like spring. I'm going to start with just 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and see how our borscht is tasting. Mix it up a bit and add a little salt, a little pepper, going to be complete. Let's mix it up. Altogether, this process probably took me about an hour and 15 minutes. Beets take a little bit longer to cook, but putting this soup together is really takes about 45 minutes. Let's see if we need to add any more lemon or salt. Truly, it's very delicious already. I think I will add a little bit more salt. Definitely a little bit more pepper. Maybe just a touch of lemon juice, just a bit. I'm going to taste it again. And see how our borscht came together after second addition. It's amazing and it's delicious and it's beautiful, and no matter what you cook, if you put love, if you put affection into your meal, Ayurveda teaches us it's going to be very beneficial to your health, it's going to nourish your body, and it's going to be beautiful and enjoyable. In Russian language, usually when we serve meals, we always wish everybody good health. And from my table to yours, na zdrowie, enjoy this beautiful borscht.